Welcome to Fueling Your Legacy, hosted by Samuel Knickerbocker. Each week, we expose the faulty foundational mindsets of the past and rebuild a new, stronger foundation essential in creating your legacy. We've got a lot of work to do, so let's get started. Welcome to Fueling Your Legacy, and I'm excited to be here. This week, we're going to be talking about something very specific, and I'm excited about it, okay? Because it's something that I struggle with. If I'm being honest, my health and exercise has taken the back burner in my life and in my relationships for a long time. For about the last 6 months before I had our baby, I was more consistent going to the gym. I was pretty consistent, not great, but I was probably 4 out of 7 days a week. I was at the gym, working out, exercising in the morning. And then we had our baby. And since we've had our baby, I've probably gone once a week over the last month and a half. Okay. And that's been really hard for me for a few different reasons. I think exercise is really important and really helpful, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before we get into that, I do want to direct you to a few different resources that you can get access to. If you want to learn more about me, if you listen to a few episodes of this podcast and you're just like, man, how can I get more of Sam? How can I engage more with Sam? I feel a little bit distant just listening to his beautiful, angelic voice on this podcast. Well, you can go to my website, samknickerbocker.com. You can also go to my Instagram, Sam Knickerbocker. You can go to my Facebook, obviously, Sam Knickerbocker, and then LinkedIn. All those areas, they give you the ability to direct message me. Even on my website, you can send me a message through an email, and there's multiple message fields on multiple different pages, so you shouldn't be able to miss it. There's also a way to opt into a free strategy session. I'd love to, if you feel like my message is something that you've been needing in your life, if you feel like, man, Sam has something that I would love. I'd love the peace or the joy that he feels. I'd love to understand how he can just move past so many bad things in his life and just experience joy, love, and compassion for everything and everybody in his life. I'd love to understand money just a little bit more, just so I can operate, right? I don't like, if you've ever thought that I didn't have enough money, if you've ever thought that I don't have money for that, if you've ever thought that you were not worth earning more money, whatever it is, like if you're struggling with some money conversations, let me know. I'd love to sit down and have those conversations with you, because for me, that's my story. Okay. I want to have those conversations because I was there. I've experienced that, and I've experienced the pain that comes from that. So free strategy session there. Also, you can get access to my book, The 9 Pillars to Build a Meaningful Legacy. This is really focused on the whys of why it's important for you to become financially successful. Not just like a little bit, but like wildly. So much money that you've never even been able to imagine having that much money. That's how much money you need in your life. And the reason is not, I'm going to let you go read the book to find out why I think that that's important for you. But that's an awesome book. Go ahead and get access to that. And then also, I'm about to post a webinar. I've got like one more recording of it to do, just to work out some kinks. I've been able to give a few people a quick view of it, and they're like, oh, Sam, you need to fix a few things. So that's good. I'm gonna be doing that, but you'll have access to my webinar, and that's really focused on you being worthy. You deserve success. We need to heal your relationship with debt. We need to help you give you a nice solid foundation of how to just manage basic money. What are some basic money rules or money habits that are gonna help you really launch yourself and give you a foundation to build your legacy. And then kind of the crown jewel of that is really understanding the value exchange. So many people misunderstand the value exchange completely. They think, oh, well, this costs this much money. This costs this much money. Look, money is one type of value exchange. It's called a monetary exchange. But in almost every relationship that I can experience, when there's money being exchanged for something, it's being exchanged for a non-value exchange, a non-monetary value exchange, whether that's food, gas, clothes, a service, pest control, smart solar system. It doesn't matter. You're exchanging your money for something that you value that's non-monetary. And the inverse is true. So if you're struggling with not having enough money, then my suggestion is, and what I really go into in this webinar, is that if you're struggling with not having enough money, that's a symptom of you not being willing to add enough value into society, right? If you're adding enough value into society, the natural result of you adding value is you getting money. right? That's just a natural result. It just happens. And so if you're struggling with money, it's because you're not adding value. And notice, right, there's one little money, there's a lot of value that's going. 5 fingers versus 1 finger. It's important that we understand, yes, money's going to come, but we have to be sold out on adding tons of value to our community. Okay, and this leads me perfectly into my shout out for this week. Tristan Chakowski is one of those people who understands the value exchange. I got on a call with him, and we were talking for maybe 45 minutes, and he was just going through my website, going through my social media, going through these things. His thing is he likes to help people market. He likes to help people sell themselves and get themselves out there. And so while we were sitting there on the call, he's going through these things, right, taking notes, saying, okay, Sam, to clarify your message, here's some steps that you could take, right? He's adding value with no expectation of anything in return, because he understands the more value he can add to a society, eventually he's going to start receiving money to provide for his family. And that's his game, and I love it. So thank you, Tristan. Thank you for giving me a shout out on social media today. It was on Facebook, and I just super appreciate that. Now, when it comes to our health, okay, so now we're going to dive right in. So to the health and wealth conversation. We have an awesome guest this week. I'm struggling. I've been practicing to say his last name, and I'm going to probably get it better on Wednesday. But today it's going to be Chad Milinu, and he is actually going to be flying all the way out from Connecticut to do the podcast with us here on Friday. So I'm super, super, super pumped and honored and just grateful that he's going to be coming out here for that. So definitely don't miss that. But this week is his week, man. He's like, I want to help share this message with the world. And something that he's specifically sharing is how to help business professionals manage their health, because, and this, I'm super guilty of this. I get so busy, I get tired, I come home late at night, I am working early in the morning, my mind is always on work mode, and it's so easy to forget to take time for your health. It's so easy to, especially for me, to forget to eat. I don't enjoy eating. It's not something I love doing. And so if I'm being honest, most of the time I'm eating 1 to maybe 2 meals a day. I'm just not eating that much. Often I will be working, just working. And then when I finally go home at like 6 at night, I've got a headache. I probably haven't drank enough water that day. Sometimes, like the other day, I was doing my webinar recording and I almost passed out because I just haven't had food, right? So these are things that I struggle with because I've just really put health on a back burner. And so that's been a challenge of mine. But on top of that, there's also the factor of, are you exercising? Are you regularly like doing things to move your body? And why is that important? So why do you think moving your body and getting it active and getting the blood flowing, pumping is important as a businessman? For me in my industry, I meet with a lot of people every day, and I've got to be in my best self, my mentally clear, thinking quickly. I've got to be able to do that and make moves in my industry. And if I'm not, if my mind doesn't have the right food or water or energy, and if I haven't got myself into a peak state, peak state is a term that I first heard from Tony Robbins. So I don't know where it came from, but that's where I first heard it from. And if I haven't put myself into a physiological state of preparedness, then that's on me. I have to claim that. I have to admit that, like, look, I didn't show up fully for my client. Well, what's the harm in not showing fully up for your client, right? From a business perspective, one, you probably will close a lot less deals if you're not showing up fully for your client. But two, especially if you have something that you actually believe needs to be shared, if you have something that you're passionate about sharing and you think, man, the world is going to be a better place when they get this information. And that's how I feel about my message. But for a long time, I haven't translated that into health. And 2019 for me is really a year where I'm going to choose to focus on my physical health, my physical well-being, because in the last year, 2 years, 3 years, I focused a lot on my mental health. I focused a lot on becoming better, learning business strategy, learning a lot of stuff. But all of that's kind of not even important if I don't have like my inner physiological needs met. And so getting into peak state. So exercising, moving your body, getting the blood flowing is crucial for that. I posted a video on Instagram and Facebook on Saturday of something that I do to just pump myself up before I start making phone calls, before I start meeting with people. You got to do something to just get the juices flowing, getting pumped. Another thing that I do is I actually, because I work in an office building and I have clients coming in and out, about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes before a client comes, I drop down and I do 10 to 10 to 50 push-ups, depending on how much time I have. I'm not the fastest at doing push-ups, but something that I've found helpful for me is not to always focus on, hey, you've got to be at the gym from X hour to X hour and make sure that you're always working out at the gym. That is awesome. And I think that's important. And that's what I strive for, right? My goal is to wake up every morning, 5 o'clock, get ready and meditate for a little bit. And then by 5:30, be at the gym from 5:30 to 6:30. That's my goal. It doesn't always happen, especially over the last month or so because of, because I make excuses. Let's be honest. The baby actually gives me a lot of sleep, and my wife is awesome, and she takes the baby. So I don't really have an excuse other than, but I have a bunch of excuses, no good reasons, and I should take more ownership. So I just haven't made it to the gym because I'm tired, and I haven't made it a priority. That's the reality, okay? So, but this is something that's important. Even though I'm not making it to the gym, am I still able to exercise? Am I still able to do those little things throughout the day that other people aren't doing? We have at our office, we have a massive flight of stairs that there's no elevator in our building. So I have to go up flights of stairs every day, multiple times a day. Every time I come into the office or leave the office, I've got to go down the stairs and up the stairs, down the stairs and up the stairs to get to where I'm going. So I'm getting a pretty solid stair workout. And sometimes I walk up the stairs or like hit every step. And then sometimes I bound up the stairs and maybe skip 2 or 3 steps. And it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. But, stair workout, doing push-ups in between things, and then also doing some exercises to just pump yourself up and stand in some power poses. And as you do that, your physiological state actually does change when you start to think positively and you actually stand more positively. If you're struggling thinking positive, if you're struggling with your mental thoughts and thinking, I'm not going to be able to close this or whatever, you need to stand up. You need to start moving. You need to just stand in some power poses, maybe even yell. So we were doing an appointment with some of my business partners, and we were about to bring on a new business partner. And before we do, it's important for me, I want to know how solid my business partner is. If I'm going to be working with somebody, I want to know, like, are they committed to really being in and really just killing in this business? And so I asked her, like, how sure are you? And she's like, I'm kind of sure. No, I think I'm actually like a 10 or a 12, right? A 12 out of 10. I was like, okay. So like, if we were to yell, how sure is that? And she's like, what do you mean? Like, you actually want me to yell right now? And I just yelled, yes, right? I really, as loud as I could. She's like, what if people are here? I'm like, who cares if people are here? Like, if you're ready to share this message, let's share this message with people, right? And I think that we need to get to that point where we can get into a physiological state to really bring our message to the fullest to those people around us. And so I'm super excited for Wednesday. We're going to be doing a book review. And then on Friday, we're going to get Chad's real down and dirty opinion about how to integrate the two. For a busy businessman or a woman, how can you integrate some small things, small like push-ups, stairs, things like that, to really get you the best health and exercise you need, and integrate them rather than thinking, I have to accomplish this big thing. How can we integrate these two things into a world that we can all operate in? And something I really like about Chad, if you haven't followed him, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes here to his Facebook, but go follow him, man. He is probably, if I'm being honest, one of the best exercise people that I've ever seen as far as like sharing content. I think every day, multiple times a day, he's on Facebook Live, or just on doing videos, showing you workouts, showing you different hacks to really like get the best workout out of how you're doing, different ways to like stand up and sit down in your chair to get the most muscle groups worked while you're doing it, right? And little things like that. He's constantly sharing content. And as he does that, it just goes back to the same thing that Tristan was doing at the beginning of this episode with the value exchange. If you're adding a lot of value, you're going to get paid for it. And I know that Chad's been successful, and I'm grateful to have him on a podcast and have him come out here. And then last thing, if you're in Utah, I've got to put in this plug. We are actually going to be having a business icon here in Utah. And if you want tickets, please just reach out to me on one of these platforms, and I'll help you get tickets to this. But Ed Milet, the great Ed Milet, is actually going to be coming into Utah and going to be doing a conference on Saturday, the 16th of February. So if that is you and you're going to be in this area and you'd like tickets to that, please just reach out. We can help you get tickets to that. And I know that it'll change your life. I mean, the things that Ed, the way he sees the world, the way he helps people, it's unique. It's his own, and I know it's beneficial. It's helped me in multiple areas of my life. I'm sure it will help in your life as well. So love your life, love your wife, love your kids, and that's build your legacy. Find out what you're doing today. What actions are you taking today to fuel your legacy? What habits, mindsets, and behaviors are you cultivating today to fuel your legacy? And if you want, just take a screenshot and of you listening to this, post on social media, and just like Tristan, you can be get your own shout out and maybe even a little bit of a commercial, you could say, of what you're doing in business, and maybe get some business off of it. But I love to help you grow your business as you help me grow mine. And we're excited to talk to you later. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us today. If what you heard resonated with you, please like, comment, and share on social media. Tag me so I can give you a shout out on the next episode. And thanks to all those who have left a review. It helps spread the message of what it really takes to build a legacy that lasts. Catch you next time on Fueling Your Legacy.